Hello everyone. I'd like to tell you a video now about some, I suppose the word is healing that I've been through recently. I suppose that's the right word for it. And share with you a little bit of the story about this. And it's been very interesting for me and difficult, quite a difficult time, intense time in my life. And I'll share with you a bit more about that. I've been sharing videos on this YouTube channel, mostly about my diet, the raw vegan diet, since 2012, I think, and mainly started to do that to sort of stay in touch with friends who were over in the US that I'd met at a festival, Fruitarian festival, and a lot of them were doing YouTube at the time. And I kind of just jumped on that bandwagon and wasn't really trying to turn it into anything, but and I haven't. So I've kept that tradition going. But I do have some offerings. I do have a forum that you can join and do so. I have coaching offer, and I have a festival actually that you can come to, and a podcast that I've not really been doing much with over the last while, but we'll get back to all that. My name is Ronnie. Let's get going with this video. So this isn't actually going to be about diet and physical health. This is going to be more about emotional things. And it would be curious to see if any of you see a difference in me or feel a difference in me. You know, if you see me next, or even through this video, you might see differences in me or whatever. I have been through an experience recently. I don't know if I need to go into the details of it because it'll take a bit of a time to talk about. But I went through a situation, and it led to some grief and some pain, some emotional pain, and I was feeling a lot of that in my solar plexus area, and I started to realize that I've had this thing in my solar plexus for a long time, which is like a tension and sometimes like almost like a stabbing pain, like a no, that's a bit of an intense word to use, but a sharp pain, a sharp, tight pain, and I've had that, and kind of maybe I didn't feel it all the time, but once in a while I would be aware of it, and I would think there's a kind of tension there, stuckness, so I have a feeling. And in this situation I went through that I was looking for some healing for afterwards, I was talking to many different people, and a number of people were bringing up solar plexus, I think, and at least I was feeling solar plexus, and I had like a visualization about a sword in my solar plexus and being stabbed there and stuff, and I've had that before. I've had that vision sort of before and felt things about that, and in a number of relationships. Well, in one relationship in particular, I felt solar plexus stuff, and I've kind of always been a heart person, so I've always felt like keep your heart open and connect with your heart and all this. But what a lot would happen is what I started to realize is a lot of the time in my life when I was trying to connect with people and meet people, this solar plexus thing would get uncomfortable. Now this really came to a head with this what a person I met, a significant person I met, significant to me, and she, in my efforts to connect with her, the anxiety that came up was unbelievable, like so strong and so obvious, and this and fueled by this solar plexus sort of feeling thing. And it was so strong and so it made it so difficult, like in my efforts with connecting with, I had to really push past all this fear and anxiety that was kind of, instead of feeling a sense of excitement or joy about it, I was feeling major fear and stuff around it. And even that, even that person, that woman, girl, that woman, um, she said something about solar plexus, but she's more relating to herself. But it came up, as something that was not there, that she would expect to be there if she was attracted to someone deeply. So that was it coming up again, and I just started to identify it more and more as something. Well, anyway, in my journey, I had people brought it up, and then I spoke specifically to a lady called Jane Sinclair. Jane has been a part of the UK Fruitfest since the very first Fruitfest, and she's been on a vegan, raw vegan sometimes diet. She's done both. But a big part of her story has been that she got rid of stage fright by doing tapping. Some of you know this tapping therapy. And so Jane would teach about tapping at the festival. Feels good to do it, actually. Colin. Emotional freedom technique. It's a holistic therapy that helps people to become more emotionally free, I suppose, is the best way of putting it, by calming down the nervous system and kind of retraining it. And I went to her and I had a session with her. In the first session, I just talked to her about the situation. In the second session, she was working with me on this, and the anxiety sort of feeling I had my solar plexus around it. And I'd had a hypnotherapy session. I'd had a few sessions where this came up, this thing that was stopping me from connecting in some way. And it became more obvious this thing was there, stopping something. Well, I was working with Jane on this, and it was fantastic. I want to give her a review, basically, because it was really good. I'll maybe try and put her details below, but you can find Jane Sinclair. And I mean, if you contact me, I'll find her details and stuff. There's an interview with her on the Love Fruit podcast. You find the interview on the Love Fruit podcast. And she was so good at this thing. And I'll have more sessions with her. And it was so funny. And it was kind of very light-hearted. And she said, when did this feeling start? When did you start feeling this? And I said, I can remember this years ago. And so when I was at school, I remembered the time when I was at school and a girl that I liked came over to me and put her arm around me. And I just couldn't deal with it. I just tightened up and felt that anxiety right there. And I ignored her, basically. I didn't connect with her. I didn't turn around and smile or talk to her or anything. I tightened up. And Jane said, what are you feeling? And I said, I'm still feeling that. So we did more work. And then we got back. And then she took me back to that memory and she said, what do you feel now? And I said, I feel more relaxed. I feel like I would have smiled, I feel like I would have signalled to her. I liked the fact that she put her arm around me. I enjoyed that. Something simple. I'm sure some of you are going, yes, that's simple. That wasn't how I responded. That's not how I've responded my entire life to a lot of these kind of situations. That's not just women, that's men, that's all sorts of people. And my default thing so often was I would meet someone, quite like them or have an enjoyable little interaction, and then this thing would come up and be like, need to stop this, need to end this. Don't take up too much of their time. Don't, what if you're leading them on or something? What if you're blah, 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 what if this and that? Just would come up and stop me from just having a nice conversation with a person, and I would end it early and get away. Now I would still then see the person again, but then I would feel like, oh, I've seen them again. Do they remember me? What did they? It would all come up, all this anxiety stuff about it. And if I got past that, then I would I could get past it. But it made it hard at the start, and therefore a lot of those situations never progressed. And with men, I would have it. It's not just women. It's not just with romantic situations. It was with all kinds of people. I would have this. And sometimes with men, it would manifest as a fear that they were gay, and they were coming on to me. And with women as well. I would feel like, are they coming on to me here? I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if I like them. I don't want to lead them on. And you really don't have to worry about that. But I had all these fears and all that around it. And the truth is, those women weren't hitting on me most of the time, probably. Maybe some of them were, but whatever. And probably a lot of those men weren't either. It's just that it came up and I was like, this man's being nice to me. What's going on? You know, or whatever. And I think back to a few potential friendships that probably I didn't allow to happen. Didn't allow to happen. Um, I think back to a guy I was at university with who would sometimes come and sit with me, or was one of the few people that would kind of chat with me sometimes because we would both sit down the front. And I was a bit of a loner. He seemed to be a bit of a loner, and he was always really happy to see me. And he was a he was a great guy. And part of me probably thought, I don't know, is he gay? Is it something? I don't know. I don't want to lead anyone on. I don't want him to feel bad, and all that would you know. And I thought, gee, I could have probably had a great friendship with that guy. He might have been one of my best friends. Who knows? And I've been blocking all this and pushing, um, and at the same time wanting friendship, like desperate for friendship, and cutting people off like that. Um, Maybe he'll watch this video and please come back. But definitely with girls as well, with romantic scenarios. And the girl that I met, who all this came up, the thing about her is that I've always had tension. So if I got more close with a girl as well, that tension would come up, and it would make it hard for me to like fully enjoy connecting with women and things like that. This is getting a bit personal, but like that's that's what this channel's all about. Me saying way too much. Um, Maybe some women who have been with me will be like, okay, this makes a bit more sense. so, so, God, there probably is someone that's yeah. Anyway, so this has been a tense thing. It's been affecting me a long time, and I did the EFT. I felt better. That whole area felt better. Felt, I don't know, like more, not a piercing pain. It was like a, you know. I was learning all these other things from people. Someone was saying, a lady that was a therapist. She said, "There's no difference between excitement and nervousness. Um, when this cortisol rises, there's no like I don't know. It's like a scale or something, and at first it's maybe excitement, but it turns into nervousness and fear and whatever. Like it's just the same thing. There's no difference in any of it. It's just like maybe a scale or something. I'm not sure. And I was just feeling, instead of feeling the excitement of wow, this person's connecting with me, it's like it was the I just turned into a pain, a fearful pain that was not in my head. It wasn't like I was just thinking this is a person just talking to me in my head, but my body and my emotion side was reacting in that way, and that obviously has a big deal of control over you. And I'm really in my head trying to go, and to some degree in my heart trying to go, I don't want to feel this way, but that's what was happening, and it was blocking me from having a feeling of flow emotionally and everything, and kind of making me shut down a bit inside. And this woman that came into my life, the thing that was significant about her was in her presence that just flowed, that just all just disappeared. It seemed to anyway. But then when I was like going to, I was on the way to see her or on the way to their things, I felt all this anxiety and tension and all this. But when I was around her, I relaxed and felt really good, and I felt this flow, and sometimes felt a real flow with her, and that made her a completely significant person in my head, like totally different to my other experiences with people. Felt really, and so she really taught me or showed me, in a sense, how I should be feeling or could be feeling, and That might not mean I'm meant to ever connect with her or get close with her, but she was kind of a roadmap to pointing that out to me or making me feel that or making me understand that. And I don't know why. Why her? I mean, I've always thought she was like a soulmate, or something of that nature. I've kind of known her a long time, not really, but kind of. So I did the session with Jane. I felt better. It's still not. I still feel I got a lot of work to do. I need some more sessions, and I need to work on this. But this has changed me dramatically. This whole situation, the whole thing, has had a massive impact on me, and I feel good. Like life will be better. This is a significant moment in my life. Really good. I'm really glad. I'm sad for my younger self that I was like this for so long. I mean, it didn't completely destroy my life or stop everything happening, but my friend, another friend of mine was saying he called it the seat of the soul, something to do with authentic, relating and connecting, and it's like, yeah, it's been hard for me to. It's just felt not quite, So I'm getting there. I'm getting there slowly. Um, Glad about it. I'm glad about that, and I think a lot of things will be a lot better. I'll tell you one thing: it's like trying to identify the issue that you have is hard sometimes. Trying to identify what it is, you've got some kind of a problem, but what is it? Why? What is it I need to work on? The memory of the woman that I'm talking about, of the first time I met her, and all the times I'd been around her and stuff, the memory of all that kept coming back, kept coming back, kept coming back. I was like, I can't find what it is I'm meant to learn about this. Like, what is it in this situation? I had to end up meeting her again and figuring it out. It took ages though. It wasn't an immediate thing. Like, okay, this I shouldn't be feeling this, or I can work on not feeling this way. I don't have to feel this level of tension and fear around connecting with people. I can instead feel comfortable and happy and a sense of flow around it. So that's what I'm choosing to do anyway. God, what's the next point I want to make about this? So came out of the session with Jane, felt a lot better. Kind of felt like, right, I'm sort of cracking this code a little bit, but still pain came up and sadness and stuff came up, um, and I'm still working through that. Like it'll still come up and it'll be difficult, but I'm realizing this is what has to be. This is the thing. This is the thing that has to move or flow or whatever. This is the experience I'm going through, um, and I know I've not been that great with my meditation for a while, and that's another thing I need to get. I want to get back on my meditation so that I'm working on all this. Uh, and then so I went to the gym yesterday, and a man approached me. He said, "I've seen your adverts. I run adverts for my Aikido class in Glasgow. Oh, I've seen your adverts. I've been on your ads." Started chatting to him. We were having a 20-30 minute talk. It must have been over 20 minutes we were chatting. We were talking. And I made a friend, basically. And I was so comfortable in the situation, I thought, this is different for me. This is not what I was. I would have chatted to him a little bit, left, bounced out of that situation, abort the mission. Like, nice to meet you. Okay, now go. Not as quick as that, but I would chat to him a little bit and very quick get tense. Very quick. It would just build up. Then I'd be like, okay, okay, I'll see you later. And I would have to jump, bounce. I'd bounce. And I didn't bounce. I was just sitting. I was just talking to him, chatting with him, saying nothing important. Just getting to know the guy, feeling comfortable with him. Um, Feeling like, yeah, let's do something together. Let's do this. Like, let's. I'll give you my details next time I meet you. And everything's fine. And then walked away, hanging about, and just comfortable that he's around. I'm around. Not thinking, should I go and talk to him again? Should I just? No, I'm just cool with it. Next day, I see him today, going to the gym. Oh, hello. We chat. Give him my number. All easy. Just like, it's not really usually been like that for me. It's usually been like, wait, what is he gay? I don't know what's happening. Why is he being friendly? What's happening? Like, all this stuff going on in my head because of this painful anxiety. This anxiety thing came up. There probably wasn't really pain. It wasn't like that most of the time, but it was enough to make me go, oh. Anyway, I'm feeling a greater sense of internal flow of energies, and man, it's different. It's different. So that's a healing that I'm going through consciously at the moment. And maybe this video will guide you in some direction, whether it's towards EFT and you want to work with Jane. I would recommend her. I thought she was excellent. She's been at the festival. Many people at the festival have recommended her. Jane Sinclair. If you want to work with her, if you want to work with other people. But here's the thing, trying to identify these issues is hard. I think if that's the thing, if you knew what issue it was and that it was an issue and that it could be solved, you probably would solve it. But it took me a long time in my life and a very significant moment and a significant person to guide me in this direction of realizing what I was missing out on, in a sense. And it's it's a big lesson. But I'm glad moving forward. And I'm even feeling better in talking on this video. I'm feeling better communicating. I'm feeling, I don't know, this might be like almost an ancestral thing. Do you know what I mean? This might be a passed on through the generations thing that I'm unlocking here. Am I going a bit deep? This all sorts of people I'm going to be sending a message to. Hey, I want to let you know I was wrong all this time. It was me. It was my fault. It wasn't you. It was me. um, Man, I'm looking forward to life as this slightly different person now. I even had someone phone up about the fruit festival and I didn't get angry at them like this. That's a first. You want information about the festival? Isn't there information on the website or whatever? I didn't say that. I wasn't always like that. There's been times when I've been a bit like that with people. And this could make everything so much easier. I'm just blown away by it. I hope and pray that I can keep on working on this and stay open with this and keep this flow going. I'm just, oh God, it's really good. It's good. I'm sure more pain will come up and more stuff will come up, but I don't want to say I'm sure it'll happen. It might happen, and I'm going to be working on keeping this open. I think it was closed. I think my heart was kind of open. This is kind of closed. Other parts of me are kind of a little open, a little not open, and I'm trying to meet someone that blows me open, that blows me apart open, and there's one person that's ever done that fully, and I'm like waiting. 20 years I was waiting to meet her again. So I'm like, no one. I can't get this feeling. I need someone to blow open my, to just rock my core, rock my world, I need someone to do that. Sounds good. So that's the video, and I wish you luck with your own healing. But we always talk at the festival about emotional health stuff. UK Fruitfest, if you want to come, it's a big. A lot of it is healing. Emotional healing's a lot of the part of it that happens at the event. A lot of it's emotional healing stuff. There's a lot of therapists that go, holistic therapists, healers, counselors, a lot, and it's a great energy that comes together. So for your personal growth, healing, UK Fruitfest is something to consider. But thank you for watching the video. Check out some of my stuff down below. Join our forum. Thank you very much.